By the waters of Babylon, there we sat down and wept when we remembered Zion. Hi, I'm Andy Jago, pastor of Bethany Lutheran Church and Preschool, and I am not by the waters of Babylon. The waters that are flowing behind me belong to the Potomac River as I stand here at Riverside Park, a beautiful place to stop and take in a beautiful day like today. And as I do, I'm reminded about scenes in movies that I've seen. Whenever there's going to be a major change to the storyline or to some of the characters in the movie, things are going to change and not be the same again. Sometimes a movie director will put some moving water in a scene as an indication of what is about to happen. A little foreshadowing, if you will. So I'm foreshadowing today to tell you that there's going to be a major change happening in the story. We've been reading through this campaign to read through the main historical narrative of the Bible. Has taken us to a lot of places, and it's had us look at God calling from the time of Abraham this nation of people, gathering them together, establishing them in their land. Well, now that land is going to be taken away in this chapter as judgment for their sin, something that was predicted by their prophets. So there's going to be two prophets whose ministry overlaps in chapter 17, this chapter of the story this week. We're going to be introduced to Jeremiah and to Ezekiel. Jeremiah witnesses the events from Jerusalem and bears testimony to them and gives a message to the people. And then there's Ezekiel, who is by the waters of Babylon, with some of the exiles there. So they're both in their messages. I think we're going to see some connections, and maybe we can highlight a few things that have to do with sin and judgment. And that's going to take us into the main story, the main narrative, which we're coming up to in a couple weeks' time, where there's sin and judgment and how God reconciles and deals with sin once and for all. But there's also hope in these chapters. And one of the questions I wrote down for myself is this, and I'll just throw it out to everyone to think about as well. When has God seemed distant in your life? And then what is the hope that you hung on to get you through that time? That's a personal question. I'm going to ask that as to see if we can grab onto make some personal connections to what's going on in this chapter of the story. And if you feel like you can share that, then please by all means do so. And I look forward to seeing you in our celebration for Sunday school, for worship each Sunday, 8:45, 10 o'clock, and of course connecting with you here online as well. So may the Lord bless our hearing, reading, marking, learning. And I love it when we say in our prayer, and we inwardly digest God's holy word.